Carbon steel flanges are among the most widely used components for connecting and sealing industrial piping. They are reliable, easy to fabricate, and cost-effective across a wide range of service conditions. In this guide, we'll cover what they are, the grades and standards that define them, the common types, where they are used, and how they compare with alloy steel. A carbon steel flange is a pipe connection component made from steel containing roughly 0.05 to 2.1% carbon content, a composition that directly affects strength, hardness, ductility, and weldability. Unlike stainless or alloy steel, it contains little to no chromium, nickel, or molybdenum, which makes it economical and easy to fabricate. Carbon steel is usually grouped by carbon content. Low carbon steel, also called mild steel, contains roughly about 0.05 to 0.3% carbon content and is widely used in industrial applications for its good machinability, ductility, and weldability. Medium carbon steel has roughly 0.3 to 0.6% carbon content. It is stronger than low carbon steel and is used for forged flanges. High and ultra-high carbon steels are the strongest carbon steels, but they are brittle and therefore not recommended for flanged applications. The material grade helps determine a flange's strength, pressure, and temperature capabilities, weldability, and corrosion resistance. Final material selection depends on service conditions, product form, applicable codes or specifications, and the required mechanical properties. 4 grades cover most industrial applications. ASTM A36 is a steel plate specification commonly used for plate flanges in structural, waterworks, HVAC, and general industrial piping, where forged pressure-rated flanges are not required. ASTM A105 is a carbon steel forging specification with a maximum carbon content of 0.35%. Used for forged flanges in ambient and elevated temperature and pressure piping systems. ASTM A694 is a forging grade that covers strength levels ranging from F42 through F70, commonly used in high-pressure oil and gas pipelines. ASTM 516 is a plate grade with a carbon content up to about 0.31%, for use in pressure vessels at moderate temperatures. A36 and A105 are the two most common, so we'll look at each in turn. ASTM A36 is the most widely produced structural steel grade in the United States. In flange applications, it is manufactured from plate rather than a forging. Plate flanges cut from A36 serve non-pressure and low-pressure systems up to 300 psi. Where ANSI/ASME piping code compliance is not required. It does not qualify under ANSI or ASME B16.5 for pressure-rated service, but it is well suited for waterworks, HVAC, and large diameter structural connections. You will find A36 plate flanges used in waterworks applications, HVAC, exhaust systems, and structural and agricultural work, such as pipe supports and frames. It is also a great choice for custom large diameter fabrications where forged blanks are not stocked. Domestic A36 also satisfies Build America, Buy America, and American iron and steel requirements. Q235 is China's standard for A36 carbon steel and can be used interchangeably, provided that there are no domestic requirements. ASTM A105 is the standard specification for carbon steel forgings used in pressure piping systems. Forging gives A105 a denser, more consistent grain structure than plate cut material, so it performs well under sustained pressure and elevated temperatures. ASTM A105 is one of the primary forging materials that's referenced in the ANSI/ASME B16.5 and B16.47 specifications covering forged steel flanges. It is available in all standard pressure classes ranging from class 150 through 2500. It is widely used in code-compliant pressure piping systems, including ASME B31.3 for process piping and ASME B31.1 for power piping, serving industries such as oil and gas, chemical processing, power generation, and general industrial steam service. Pressure and temperature limits are determined by the applicable ASME standards and pressure classes. A105's pressure rating is not fixed. A Class 150 flange falls from about 285 psi near ambient temperature to roughly 80 psi at 800 degrees, because steel loses strength as it heats up. Carbon steel flanges are governed by two types of standards that work together, one being the material specifications that define the steel, and second, dimensional standards that define the geometry and pressure ratings. ANSI/ASME B16.5 covers pipe flanges ranging from 0.5 to 24 inches, covering classes 150 through 2500. ANSI/ASME B16.47 handles large diameter weld neck and blind flanges ranging from 26 through 60 inches in classes 75 through 900 in Series A and Series B. AWWA C207 is the carbon steel standard for plate fabricated municipal flanges used in waterworks service up to 300 psi, covering classes B, D, E, and F. And ANSI/ASME B31.3, the process piping code, determines which grade qualifies for a service, and which typically means A105 forged flanges. The key point to remember is that a pressure class is a reference designation, not a fixed maximum, so the allowable working pressure drops as the temperature rises. The flange type determines how it connects to the pipe, how it handles pressure, and how easily it installs. 6 flange types cover almost all applications. Weld neck flanges are butt welded through a tapered hub used in critical high-pressure services. Slip-on flanges slide over the pipe and are fillet welded inside and out for general lower pressure services. Blind flanges are solid discs with no bore, used to terminate or isolate a line. Socket weld flanges seat the pipe in a socket with a fillet weld for small bore, high pressure lines. Threaded flanges don't require welding and are used in low pressure or non-critical service. And lap joint flanges pair with the stub end and rotate freely for systems that need frequent disassembly. Each flange also has a face type, either a raised face or a flat face. On a raised face flange, the sealing surface is raised approximately 1/16 of an inch on most pressure classes. This raised face concentrates the bolt load onto a smaller gasket area, creating a tighter seal. It's the most common face style on ANSI/ASME B16.5 or B16.47 steel flanges. For flat face flanges, the entire face is machined flat and uses a full face gasket that extends to the bolt holes. Its purpose is to distribute bolt force over the entire face of the flange, reducing stress on connected equipment. Flat face flanges are a part of the AWWA C207 and C228 standard requirements. Carbon steel flanges are found in nearly every industrial and municipal piping sector, with the material grade varying by application. Water and wastewater use A36, Q235, or A105 in municipal mains and treatment plants. Power generation uses A105 for steam lines, cooling water, and turbine connections. Chemical processing uses A105 for process piping, reactor connections, and transfer lines. HVAC and ventilation use fabricated A36 or Q235 for large diameter hydronic piping and air ducts. Agriculture uses A36 or Q235 for irrigation main lines, pump stations, and manifolds. And construction uses A36 and Q235 for low pressure utility piping, general water distribution, and structural steel fabrication. Alloy steel is specified only when conditions exceed what carbon steel can reliably handle, meaning higher temperatures, higher pressures, or corrosive media. Carbon steel is primarily an iron-carbon alloy with small amounts of elements such as manganese or silicon. Alloy steel contains intentionally added alloy elements such as chromium, molybdenum, nickel, or vanadium in greater amounts to improve properties like strength, toughness, corrosive resistance, or high temperature performance. Carbon steel's strength tops out at nearly 800 degrees Fahrenheit in A105 and begins to lose its strength at above 300 degrees, while alloy grades hold its strength well past 1200 degrees. Carbon steel also has a lower corrosion resistance and usually requires surface treatment, whereas alloy steel offers moderate to high corrosion resistance. Carbon steel is generally a more cost-effective solution for water and moderate process work. Alloy steel costs more to manufacture and is reserved for high temperature, high pressure, and critical service applications. In short, carbon steel flanges are the practical choice for most industrial and municipal piping needs. They are strong enough for pressure-rated use, easy to fabricate, domestically available, and cost-effective at scale. At API International, we supply carbon steel flanges fully machined to meet a variety of material requirements, with dimensions and tolerances per AWWA C207, ANSI/ASME B16.5, and B16.47. Our sales and engineering teams can answer any questions about your flange requirements and provide custom solutions for your projects. To get started, visit API International or give us a call